All right.
Welcome back, everyone.
Guess who's back? Back again.
It's us.
Loops are back. Tell a friend.
Exactly.
Guess who's back? Did you even get the reference?
I do.
You're like, I know Eminem, you idiot.
God, guy. How young do you think I am? Young.
Young.
Yeah, there we go.
Young
Yeah.
enough to not know who Jack White is. From
Yeah,
the White
okay.
Stripes. We got a lot of feedback about that.
Yeah, we
There
did.
was a lot of people who were,
Not
I
impressed.
don't want to say the word disgusted would be fair, but
Oh, God.
more embarrassed,
Embarrassed on my behalf.
ashamed
Yeah,
for you.
quite understandably as well.
We're back, guys, after a brief hiatus. I was sick, and then
I was
thought I had COVID. I got tested, didn't have COVID. It was just a really bad cold. So toughed it out, played a couple shows that were the hardest shows I've ever played with said head cold. And you got it, and you were sick. And then we went from there, and yeah, we're here now. You moved this weekend.
I did.
How's that going, buddy? Tell us all about your new place as you play with the headphones.
I am going to have to restart this episode because this is brutal.
Nah, just keep it going. It's good content.
I have no clue what's happening with these headphones.
No, it sounds perfect to me now. I'm good.
Dude,
You just get
What?
it so
It
you
is?
can hear. Yeah, just get it so you can hear. I'm fine.
I can't hear out of one side. Oh, now it's working.
There
what
we
the
go.
hell is happening?
There we go, buddy.
That was
Just
the
don't
weirdest
touch
thing.
anything.
I didn't know that it wasn't working for you because when it cut out on the one side, then it didn't work
No,
for you.
it was cutting in and out nonstop, but I'm like a laser, man. I'm just laser focused.
Absolutely.
I'm dialed in.
I
I missed
know
the
you-
podcast. We haven't done it in a couple weeks.
It has been a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two, I think. Maybe.
But like you were saying, right? You were sick, then I got sick. Thanks a lot for that, by the way.
Hey, you are welcome.
And then ended up moving over this weekend. So yeah, I mean, super stoked.
Not because of the sickness.
No, I was just like,
I'm tired
you know
of
what?
Kevin
Fuck
making me
this.
sick.
I'm out of
Bullshit.
here.
I'm out.
This happens every year. I swear to God.
It
Yeah.
really does. I always get sick in the spring.
You do.
It's the worst.
But I was sick actually really bad in the fall,
Oh.
in November,
Oh, yeah, you were.
for 10 days. It was
You
between our
really-
2 trips down
you
to the
really
island.
were. Yeah.
It was
Like
brutal.
really sick.
Yeah, it was absolutely awful.
Damn.
Yeah, we had to cancel 2 gigs during
That's
that
right.
time.
That's right.
Cancel the gigs.
Straight up.
And I played on Friday, even though I was running at 60% or something like that.
Yeah. This week.
Yeah, this one.
A couple days ago, which was awesome. That was man, so much has happened, guys. We got to fill you in. Scotch Creek Hub, that was fantastic. The first time we ever played there.
Tons of fun playing.
About an hour away from Kamloops, and it's a staple in the Okanagan. Everyone that goes camping and shoe swap and whatnot, they go to the Scotch Creek Hub and listen to music, and they're fantastic. Mark and Angela, they run the place there. We made fast friends with them that night, and yeah, we loved it. The place was packed, really packed.
Yeah.
How's that Jager tasting? I just saw you make a face.
I did. Because it's like a slushy, dude.
It's like a slushy Jager.
You made me like a Jaeger slushy.
Hey, man, this is a first time for everything, and
It's
this
true.
is your first time drinking a Jager slushy. I've never yet
It's
to have
true.
one, so
Yeah. Well, about the first time in over a year, actually, since I've kind of
Yeah.
had anything like that. So
there you go. Does it
Yeah.
taste so good though? It's like old school.
well, I just
Feels so
wasn't
good when it
expecting
hits your lips.
I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's okay, dude.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, Scotch Creek Hub was awesome. It was so much fun. Had a blast. We're going to be back there again in the summer. We already have another show scheduled for July, I believe the 8th.
I think so.
But yeah, we were talking with Mark and Angela, and they're going to be getting us in for some more shows in the interim. So yeah, look forward to that. If you are going to be out in the shoe swap throughout the summertime, come on and see some loop shows.
Absolutely.
I don't want to give away too much info, but yeah, we're going to be there a bunch throughout the next few months there and leading into summertime. So that's going to be awesome. That was so much fun. And it's always great playing to a whole new crowd of people that haven't seen you before live at the least. A lot of them knew who we were, and we hyped it up pretty good. And now we have the resources. They were able to follow up and see what we're about, but they hadn't actually seen us live. So that's always fun.
It's true.
And yeah, you were at 60%. You were a champ, man.
I was
You get
running
the
on
MVP
fumes,
award
yeah.
of the weekend for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, we were talking about it, right? The week before was when it was your turn to be all sick and you were under the weather, and we had back-to-back gigs, one at Barside Lounge, which was, tough on you because, obviously it was a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
Compared to at least Scotch Creek Hub was only 2 hours, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was just, pure force of will. It's I'm going to make it work because I don't have another option.
I was
pretty
like
much.
our hero, Tiger Woods. Just
You were a
pure
hero.
force of will.
Yeah, absolutely.
The word hero gets thrown around a lot these days, but I was a hero
Yeah.
that weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, now you're moved, man. You're in your new place.
Well,
so.
I was going to talk about the last show that we did.
Scotch Creek, the one we
No,
just
I
did.
came in.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, let's talk about
was
that
like
one.
the
Okay, cool.
toughest show
Yes.
that we've ever walked into because you were still sick. So we played the Barside Lounge on Friday.
Yep.
And then Saturday was Cami Inn, which is kind of like this bar downtown that's known for their live music in the past.
Yep.
But they haven't had live music there in over 2 years because of the pandemic.
Yep.
And, they're like, we're going to start getting some bands in here. We think that you guys might fit because we're looking to, change up our image. They're kind of more of like not like a biker bar, but kind of like that kind of vibe.
Let's just call it the way it is. It kind of got a reputation as kind of the spot where like a lot of junkies and stuff would go.
Okay,
that's a fact, man. I'm just
cutting the shit.
I'm just cutting the crap, man. I'm just being honest. It's Cami Inn is a place that people know. They're like, we're playing the Cami Inn. They're like, ooh.
I'm just calling it a rougher place.
Well, yes, there was a lot of like kind of transient people that were there and junkies and stuff that traditionally have been in that area and going to that bar. But
we figured may as well give it a shot.
When we showed up, we're like, hey man, it'll be fun. It's a downtown venue and the owner is awesome. We hit it off with him. He's like, I want to kind of get, good young crowd in there and get live music and really kind of pump up this image. And we're like, cool, we're your guys. That'll be fun. We love a challenge. So keep going.
It was a weird, rough start because I texted you before we even got there and it was like, dude, this is going to be a rough show, right? Like, whatever happens. We only have to play it once. We don't have to come back if it's that bad.
Yeah.
And then that was pretty much like what I was holding on to for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm like, whatever happens.
Yeah.
But we're going to make the best out of this situation here. So
Absolutely.
we're like, let's open up the door. There's a big, busy bar that's right across the street. So let's try and lure some of those people on from over there. Like
big lineup outside of the bar.
Exactly. It's like, why wait in line when you can come in here, get some drinks, listen to some live music, right? So, you know what? We absolutely crushed it that night and made it into an awesome show.
It was an all-timer.
I was never expecting it to be as good as it was.
Yeah. No chance. I mean, you did the normal Kevin pump-up speech. You did the, Captain America rally the troops. You were like, hey, look, I know you're not feeling the best. I was feeling way better than I was the night before. Way, way better.
Yeah.
I was just tired at that point. But you're like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's win over this crowd of like drunken bikers at that point.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's like,
there was a couple transients.
You guys are going to sing Ed Sheeran at the top of your lungs.
We're like, let's win it. But there's a couple young waitresses. And there was 2 girls that were at the end of the bar. So we're like, let's just win over the 4 of them. Because if we win over them, the waitresses, they're going to be having fun regardless. They're going to have, their attitude's going to be that much better for everybody else.
They get more tips that way.
They'll get more tips. It's going to be great. So we'll win over the waitresses and we'll put on a show for those 2 girls. Because to be honest, those 2 girls are going to bring in dudes trying to hit on them.
Which
other girls will come in. That's exactly what happened. And then they hooked up a couple guys, I think, or whatever they did. They left with those dudes.
It doesn't matter what happened after that.
Hey.
After that, it doesn't matter. It was
hey man, that's what we do. We bring people together. We make people fall in love at our shows, and that's just part of the Loops experience.
And then we get to go home.
We go home. Yeah, you go home to Alina. I go home to Jake, the dog, and
exactly
the cat, and
your
Sebastian
fish.
and my fish. It's good times. I'm single, by the way, everybody.
Exactly.
Ladies out there, if you're listening,
just say if anybody's got any pity for me.
Right there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was. I'm really proud of that show, man.
Yeah,
I'm really proud,
good.
and it was rocking by the end. Like just. People singing along, people giving tons of tips, like just rocking and laughing and having a good time, man. It was awesome. It was so good.
So, I mean, beyond all that, I mean, like, obviously we've been super busy with those gigs and I've been super busy over at the golf course, as you know there, Kev, and, been doing that like 3 or 4 days a week, whatever it is. I'm losing track of where I'm
When
at
you're not
with that.
doing loops, you're pretty much being at the golf course.
Exactly. So, I mean, this past week has been like super tough and exhausting because being sick is one thing and then working on top of it and then playing a show and then moving.
Yeah, man.
It's all happened in the last 7 days. So,
all in the last week.
if anybody's like, why aren't you guys putting out your podcast?
Yeah, did you guys run out of content? It's like, we didn't run out of content. Trust me, we have content we're never going to run out of content. We bullshit about anything.
Exactly. And there's no point in making excuses for this shit either.
No, of course. Yeah, like at the end of the day, we're doing this for the right reasons. And, we're doing this because we want to, like we've always said, we want to be accountable for ourselves. We want to have fun and check in with each other each week. And now that you're moved out, this is going to be even better because each week it's an excuse for us just to kind of catch up, even on the mic, right?
Mm-hmm.
We won't have we'll be about to record and we'll be like, no, save it for the podcast.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Don't tell me that story. Save it for the podcast.
Yeah, 100%. But now it's like there's going to be too many.
Yeah, there's going to be too much.
Just trying to condense.
You have to cut it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we're not. We weren't doing this for any reasons. We weren't doing this for any competition or anything or at all. Like we're just straight up doing this because we wanted to do it and have fun, and it's an accountability checklist for us to make sure we're staying on top of our work.
Absolutely.
And it's a way for the people that support us to kind of get to know us even better. That's why we love talking with things like golf, for example. You know, we're going to talk about golf a lot today, everybody.
Absolutely.
Why are we going to talk about golf, John? Because of the Masters.
You betcha.
Our boy Tiger, my like sports lifelong hero.
Dude, it doesn't even matter that he didn't even finish in the top 10 or like top 20 even.
Yeah, he probably finished near the bottom at the end of it, but who cares? Like straight up, like
it doesn't matter.
He finished 72 holes after getting his leg pulverized last year. Yeah. It's amazing. I didn't even know if he was going to walk again. Like,
oh yeah,
it was last February. For those that don't know, Tiger Woods got in a horrific car accident in February 2021, and he could have died. He had the jaws of life to take him out. His whole right leg, his tibia and fibia were smashed. Yeah. His ankle was pulverized. It was like dust. Got it all rebuilt, and at the last minute, basically in the last week or so, he just decided he was ready, and he went and played the Masters.
I know.
First competitive tournament
he'd had. Cut, by the way.
And he made the cut.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm just in awe of what he did this weekend. It was incredible. I think he's got another major win in him. I think he's going to win another major. Yeah. I'm saying it right now on this podcast.
Well, and I'm pretty sure that we talked about this back in January as well, right? We just didn't know when it was going to happen or, whatever else, right? But I think that he's still got one in him.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of when. It might not even be this year.
Yeah.
Which is totally cool too. He had tons of surgeries back in the past, and it took him years to get a major again.
Yeah, it did. It took him a long, long time.
Yeah.
11 years between majors.
Yeah. Not saying that he's going to be, 11 years from now.
Well, he's no way. Yeah, he ain't doing that. That's impossible.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
It's like Tiger.
If he only plays the majors, then I think that might be actually a realistic
Who knows?
thing,
yeah.
Right.
Well,
if
Tom
he's
Watson.
Like, fuck it, I'm only going to play 4 times a year.
Yeah. Tom Watson, he was literally in the lead on the Sunday at the British Open years back now, like 10 years ago or something, when he was 59.
Yeah.
So he almost set the record for the oldest to ever win.
And he teed off. He was one of the honorees.
Was he? Tom Watson?
Oh, dude.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't even notice that. Yeah. Wow, cool. Well, you have it on. I'm jealous because when you're working, you
I get to watch it at work.
Yeah. Pro shop. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, golf. We love golf.
It's true. Well, I played on, I forget what it was, like Wednesday or something like that, just because I was trying to clear my head like a little bit and get a bit of fresh air, and ended up with 2 birdies.
Yeah, that's
in
right.
Like, just like a few holes that I played.
And what else did you end up with?
Awesome.
What did you almost get?
Nearly a hole in one. I was like a foot and a half out.
I wish you guys could see like how he showed the picture to a few of us. We have a little golf chat, and it was like blown away.
I was by myself.
Blown away. I know. I've always told you that's my biggest fear.
Yeah. Fortunately, there were like 2 others who like saw it all go down. So I'm like, if I actually got a hole in one, I think that they would have vouched for me.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Either way, if you're by yourself, I mean, that's not the same as with your buddies or whatever.
You want to give fist pump like my eagle last year or. Whoa, it wasn't last year.
2020, man.
No. It's getting further away in the rearview mirror. A year and a half ago, my eagle, you were right there. Like I did the big Tiger fist pump, like a big fist pump into the fairway.
Yeah.
And you even were like, are you sure it's in? I'm like, yeah, it's in.
Yeah, I know. But in my fairness, I also didn't know because I'd only been golfing for like 3 months.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe like a month consistently.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're even just your eye, just attuned to it and tracking
absolutely.
the ball, right? You would have.
Or like a suit, like just figuring out where your shot's going to go.
Yeah.
Right? Like we play as much as like we played last year as much as like we were gigging.
Yep.
Because obviously like album, pandemic, all that
kind
100%. Of shit was like holding us up.
Yeah.
But like it was figuring out those like small little things where I'm like, I know where Kev's going to be.
100%. Yeah.
Else,
especially when we were playing really good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, the golf's back. I'm excited. I think that probably even leads us into our top 5s. You ready for a top 5? It's been a couple weeks.
It's been a few weeks, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on before we get to our top 5s?
I don't think so. That's pretty much like week in review.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, anyway.
I think it's in a nutshell. I mean, the one big thing I'll touch on this really quick. The one big, because I wanted to mention it at some point, but the one big thing is just, we've talked a bit over the last few episodes, is that that balancing act of business and professional, and going between the two. And it's just that much more ownership of like us and what we're doing. I've listened to peers have podcasts and that have faded away and they're not doing them anymore and things like that. And people that we know, different musicians in BC. And a big thing is like people just kind of not really having the right reasons for doing stuff, like just kind of talking the talk, but not walking the walk.
Yeah.
And to me, I think this spring especially, and even just over the last few weeks, and as we've been playing tons of gigs, and yeah, I'm really proud of how authentic we are to ourselves. We're very authentic to who we are.
Which, you know, it is something that like other people comment as well.
Yes,
like
100%.
Other business owners, like we get that from other people in other industries. It's not like, you know, just our friends or friends and family are like saying this
or
to
supporters.
us.
Yeah,
These are people that, you know, are paying us this much money to play at their venue, and then they're saying, I appreciate that you guys are carrying yourselves like professionals.
Yes,
I'm also appreciative that you guys, you know, are circling back to what you were saying.
You're authentic to yourselves.
Yeah, exactly. There
right?
we go.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like people like our merch manager, Kyla, and like merch manager, like she's literally the person we get our merch from.
Merch supplier.
Yeah, sorry, I picked the wrong word. But I mean, that's just a business relationship that turned into a straight up friendship from a business relationship to start.
Yeah.
Just because of the respect that we earned from her and that she earned obviously from us.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the biggest thing I've been hearing people tell us, and I take so much pride in that, is that we are authentically us.
Yeah.
We're not putting on a show. But that also, I heard somebody say, and I won't mention names, you know, our style, and we take really a lot of pride from Ed Sheeran. That whole, if someone does something negative to him, he doesn't care. He's just not going to fall to that level. He won't. But stories are stories, and they help us grow. So in the interest of transparency, I heard someone say a little while ago how fake it till you make it is like the worst possible expression. You know what? It isn't. We've gotten great advice from Doug that you want to carry yourselves like a superstar, but it's a state of mind is fake it till you make it. I think where a lot of people make the mistake is that they think that means you have to be fake until you become successful. And I think I'm really proud of the fact that we have carried ourselves 100% as authentic, and we are who we are. What you see is what you get, to the fact that we're doing this podcast for no other reason than we're going to give you a little behind the scenes, behind the curtains.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some episodes where we're like, man, you straight up a month and a half back, we're like, I'm having trouble being motivated lately, and I got to find ways to kind of push those buttons and stuff. Like, we're going to be honest about our faults and our flaws as much as our successes, because the only people listening to this are people that are supporting us, we presume anyways, right?
Right. Yeah.
But the big thing is that we're going to be authentic to who we are. But you also, the fake it till you make it isn't a bad thing. It's a great thing. It means just, you know, you carry yourself with that confidence and that swagger and kind of feel that you belong. It doesn't mean you fake anything about yourselves. Loops aren't pretending to be superstars. And I say that because we started very recently advertising ourselves on our posters as the #1 acoustic pop band in British Columbia.
Pop duo.
Sorry, acoustic pop duo.
God.
I didn't say
You're
band.
making all these posters, guy.
You're right. I make the posters, and you're right. It was sorry, duo, not band. But #1 acoustic pop duo. And honestly, I challenge anyone to find a better acoustic pop duo. And if there is someone out there that's doing it better than us, okay. But this is us. This is us carrying ourselves with that kind of pride and strength that, hey, man, we are doing this as good as anybody in the entire province in our lane. We're not saying we're the best band in British Columbia.
No.
We're not saying we're the best act in British Columbia. We're damn well the best acoustic pop duo in British Columbia. I believe that.
Well, and just touching on like what you were talking about before with like the fake it till you make it. I think that it's all, you know, within reason. I think it's like it's a really important thing to distinguish with it as well, right? You've got to, you know, exactly like you were saying before. It's like a broken record here, but you know, at the same time, I think that it's important to emphasize that it's like fake it till you make it, but like with what you're doing already, it's not, you know, I'm not turning myself from, you know, John Fennell as a part of Loops into like, you know, this big extravagant, you know, thing that's, you know, now Loops is a part of this or something, like, you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you mean. And you're not representing yourself as something that you're not. It's just, you want it. It's so the best way to sum it up, fake it till you make it kind of is a shitty way to describe it, because I think people that don't understand get caught up in that expression and they don't get it.
As a crutch.
They use it
because
incorrectly.
they don't understand it.
Absolutely. But when I was back in the door-to-door company, we had an expression back in my sales life. I don't even know if I've discussed it much on this podcast, but before I was a cop, I was a salesman for a few years, right out of like high school. I was selling in high school even. And it was pretty much my first big job. And I was in this door-to-door company, direct sales. And we had this expression, believe, behave, become. I think that's a more accurate representation of what fake it till you make it actually means for anyone that has common sense and understands the term. And it was believe, say we'll use it in example of music. Believe you're a superstar. Like you deserve to headline Wembley, just like we dream of. Behave like you do. Act the part, to your point. Act professional. Act like you are in that role. And you will eventually become the universe. You'll just will yourself into that role. It doesn't mean be something that you're not. It doesn't mean act different or unauthentic to yourself.
Yeah.
But it's a state of mind. And I think that's the difference. It's the state of mind.
Well, and that even like reminds me, like you see like how many like football locker rooms are there? And like it reminds me because of like Ted Lasso, the TV show.
Oh,
right?
Amazing show,
just
by
like
the way.
you like put that like banner up on top where it just says believe.
Yeah.
Everybody hits that
They
believe
hit that banner, man.
like or like whatever like the equivalent is for whatever sport you play or something like that,
dude.
right? That's what pushes you to be your best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You just got to believe.
Believe, behave, become, man. Fake it till you make it isn't lying on a resume. Like that's where people don't get it.
Yeah.
It's faking the attitude and believing that you actually, because that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Is feeling that you belong. You know, it's having those insecurities. It's making people see you in that role. They got to see you in the role before you're there. That's simply all there is to it.
Yeah.
If you don't look like you belong, you don't look like you're professional, you don't look like you're a superstar, before you even are one, no one's going to help elevate you to that spot. And fact remains, no one can do it by themselves.
Yeah. Well, it's important to fill yourself with that kind of confidence as well.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have the confidence, you aren't going to get anywhere else than you are, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? There are a lot of people out there who are going to, you know, think that those two things go hand in hand, where it's like, yeah, I'm faking it as much as possible, where I can only, you know, do a certain thing for, you know, an X percentage of, you know, a cost or something like that, right? Take a hit on how you're actually growing, because you got to, you know, it's very music related what I'm talking to right now,
which is
right?
perfect.
But like if I'm like a band that's just starting out and I'm like, you know what? I know I haven't played like more than 10 shows before, but if I'm not getting paid more than $4,000, then it's not worth my time to be there, right? Kind of thing. It's just like, but now you're losing all those opportunities to fine tune your band.
Yes.
You can practice as much as you want. Guess what? We've put in tens of thousands of hours practicing and putting in the time and playing open mics and playing in front of people and whatever else it is. But if you aren't putting in those reps, you aren't getting any progress. And when you put in those reps, you create more opportunities for yourself.
100%. And you build your little army, and people, you put on an awesome show for maybe a little bit less money, but those people now, they're going to get you back there more often, and you give yourself leverage because they see what you can bring to the table.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, they tell their friends who also run freaking pubs and bands and whatever, right? Venues and whatnot.
And that's how we're able to play all across BC like we are now.
Man, we're so busy. Like
it's crazy, and we'll talk about that later on in the podcast. How crazy
stuff we got coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's exciting, man. But I just, for anyone that's wondering where this momentum came from with us, it's these little things. It's fostering each individual relationship. It's not being full of shit. It's knowing that we're going to build this empire. We're going to build a super strong 2022, one gig at a time, literally. What do we say before every single show? 2 or 20,000.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if there's 2 people or 20,000 people in the audience. We're going to put on the same fucking show.
Yeah.
And we pride ourselves on that. And I think that bleeds through and people see that, right? So a little bit of a pat on the back to us, but it's also for anyone that doesn't kind of, if you're listening and you're not in the music industry and you're curious the thought process. If you are in the music industry and you don't understand the concept, I mean, hey, maybe this helps, you know?
Absolutely.
It's fake it till you make it. That's really what it means. Because I've heard some people talk about, like I said, I heard somebody that we know in the music industry fairly well, and even go on a big rant about how it's the dumbest expression ever. I'm like, no, it isn't. It's a fantastic expression. You just got to use it properly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all that freaking matters.
Understand what it means to you.
Yeah, it doesn't mean go and say you're playing a bunch of shows you're not playing. Like that's not what fake it till you make it means.
That's true. Yeah.
No. So anyways, I think that ties a bow on that. But that was something that was kind of sitting on my mind over the last little bit, and I really wanted to get off my chest. And I appreciate us talking about that.
Absolutely.
That's what this podcast is for.
Yeah. I want to hear your top 5, dude.
Cool. So our top 5 is now circling back. I had a perfect segue, but we still had to chat about stuff. So
we could have segued into the new music so seamlessly, but
you're right.
We'll talk about that later.
But that's okay. So
I want to talk about our top 5.
Now our top 5. So our top 5's in the spirit of golf. We had a couple people that were like, you know what, we really like the golf content. So we thought, you know what, we will give you
love
more
the golf content.
We will give you more golf content. Augusta is this week. It's Augusta National Golf Course. It is a private course. It was created by Bobby Jones. in the 1930s. He was the greatest golfer in the world. Only guy ever to do a single season Grand Slam. And he's a legend. And he wanted to create his own course as an ode to the great St. Andrews Old Course in Scotland. And that's where the Masters is played. And every single year, there's 4 tournaments that are called, they're the majors. There's the Open Championship, which is the British Open, the casual people. That's every year, somewhere in Britain. So every year alternates. It goes to a different course. And there's the U.S. Open, which is, again, it's an open. It's an invitational. We talked about this the other day even, how it's the only thing in sports really where John Fennell could literally go play with Tiger Woods and all the superstars of the world. Yeah. If you win enough qualifying tournaments, it's an open. So everyone's eligible to qualify and try to compete for it. You got to win qualifying tournaments to get there, but you can do it in theory.
Yep.
And then there's the PGA Championship, which is a Professional Golf Association, I believe is what it stands for. I
don't think any amateurs are allowed to play in that one.
No. You have to be a PGA member. Yeah. So that's a PGA Championship, and that's always on a different course, but it's a PGA course, official PGA course.
Yeah.
And then there's the Masters. Now the Masters is the only one. It's always at Augusta every single year.
Yeah.
So we thought about that, and we're like, the Masters, we both love golf. We love the majors. We love watching it. I don't know about you at the new place, but like I had it on literally all day today, just in the background as I was doing other stuff even.
I need to get the Golf Channel.
Oh, dude.
That's what I need.
Absolutely.
That's why I wasn't watching
just
it
a straight up Golf Channel, yeah.
I got like Sportsnet and all that, but I need to get Golf Channel.
It was on TSN.
Well, that's good to know now.
You're like, oh crap.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny.
It's so funny.
But so anyways, it inspired us, and we're like, what's a top 5 we could do just about golf for the people that have been asking us to do more golf content? Well, here you go. This is our top 5 favorite courses, dream courses, bucket list courses that we both want to play at some point.
Absolutely.
I want to preface my top 5 by saying I had an entry that was in the top 5, and I got to play it last summer with my dad and my 20 plus year best friend Jeff Beauchesne.
Yeah.
We played it together. It was Glen Abbey in Oakville, Ontario. It's getting torn down and put real estate development in there in the next couple of years.
Real?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
And my favorite shot in the history of golf is Tiger Woods on the 18th hole, shooting from the sand, 220 yards. I mentioned this on a previous podcast for sure. And Tiger put it within 10 feet of the flag with the whole tournament on the line. He went over water with a freaking like 6-iron. It was mental. It was the greatest shot ever.
Yeah.
So I got to play that and took photos, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
So I already knocked off a bucket list, but in the interest of, I'm not going to put that on there because now I played it. So I have 5 fresh ones.
Nice.
Can you guess, in the spirit of our top 5s, how many of these can you guess? Because I think you can guaranteed guess 3 of them.
Augusta.
Yep.
St. Andrews.
Yep.
The one in Nova Scotia.
Cabot Hills?
Cabot Hills?
No. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Cabot Cliffs. Yes. Cabot Cliffs is in. Yes, I put that on there as well.
There we go. 3 for 3.
Yep. You can actually probably guess 4 then. Think Pebble Beach. Boom. Yeah. So there you go. You got 4 of my 5. So I'll flesh them out. St. Andrews is the old course. Tiger Woods in 2000. He won that one and won by like 8 strokes or 9 strokes, something crazy, but he won it that year. And in this year coming up, it is the 150th anniversary of the Open, and it's at St. Andrews, the old course.
Really? Yeah.
So I was
going to say really, but I actually knew that. So.
Yeah, you knew it. But yeah, so that's the legendary course of all courses.
Yeah.
I'll always remember. So there's this movie, Bobby Jones' Stroke of Genius, and it starred Jim Caviezel. Nobody really knows who that actor is, but he was always my favorite actor in like the early 2000s. I love him. And he famously was the guy that played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, that movie made by Mel Gibson, where it's basically glorified torture. It's just watching Jesus get tortured for 2 straight hours.
I kind of remember.
Yeah, it was a famous movie. But yeah, that was so he played Jesus in The Passion. So anyways, he played Bobby Jones, the guy I told you all that created Augusta. Yep. And true story. So Bobby Jones, the first time he played St. Andrews, he was the best golfer in the world already, and he got destroyed. And he lost his attitude and he walked off the course. And they're like, that's so disrespectful, because golf is all about respect and honor. And
of course it is. Yeah.
All the traditions, right? Which is part of why I love golf.
Well, it's part of the love and hate with golf.
Charm, yeah.
Because it also, incorporates those like old time rules as well, where it's like, you know what? I just want to go out in my shorts and a sweater. Like,
Absolutely.
I can't play Augusta in a shorts and a sweater.
No, definitely not.
You're not allowed to wear shorts if you're playing.
Even shorts, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there was a cool line that he's like, "Who designed this stupid course?" And whoever was with, like, it was his caddy, like they assigned caddies there, his old Scottish guy, and he's like, "A glacier 10,000 years ago," because a glacier cut through the land, and they literally never touched it ever since. It's the ultimate links course on planet Earth.
That's cool.
And it's all just like it was 500 years ago when farmers created golf the very first time with the hickory sticks and hitting sheepskin balls, and like that was it, right? So anyways, I just the charm of the fact that it's still the same as it was for hundreds of years. I would do anything to play that course. Like, with Loops makes it,
absolutely,
it's probably number one on my list above anything, even above Augusta.
Yeah.
Augusta, obviously, Pebble Beach. Tiger had the most dominant performance ever. I've talked about it on this podcast, but he won by 15 strokes in 2000, that same summer.
Yeah.
Is also the same summer that he also hit the shot.
Oh, yeah, the number 6.
Yep, in Glen Abbey. So, yeah, he won by 15 strokes. He was -12. The next best guy at the U.S. Open was +3. Like, it was unreal.
That's absolutely nuts.
And that's at Pebble Beach. And Pebble Beach, by the way, is just beautiful. It's on the edge of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
It's perfection in California.
California is so nice.
Yeah. You mentioned it, Cabot Cliffs. It's the number one golf course in Canada every year.
Yeah.
It was actually I didn't realize this. I don't know if you know this. Do you know how old it is?
Well, you said it's only, so I'm going to guess that it's pretty young then. I'm going to guess that it's only like 20 years old.
Not even, dude. I didn't even realize this. Cabot Cliffs was actually created in 2015.
Whoa.
Yeah, by Ben Crenshaw, famous legendary golfer, and Bill Coore. So it's in Inverness, Nova Scotia. It dominates every year. It's number one on the rankings.
Was it like another course and then they just like refurbished the entire thing over like 5 years?
Maybe. Yeah. I would actually, maybe you can look into that and give us a follow-up on the pod. Give us a golf follow.
So
we should have a golf segment every week.
We need a producer to like go and fact check.
We do actually. We need like a stat guy. We should get like Alex or Zach.
If anybody knows anybody
who wants to be our stat guy.
Exactly. We would love to have somebody who can fact check us and like
a fact checker stat guy would be awesome. And they would check it on their phone and they'd be like,
hey man, they can take care of this while I'm like talking. I don't care.
Yeah, we straight up, if someone wants to do it even just for their resume,
absolutely,
like legit. Like if you're a student or something, and hey, this will be fun, you can throw it on your resume.
100%.
So anyways, Cabot Cliffs, but it is the number one course in Canada, and I would love to play that. We've talked about that. That's probably the closest to reality of those 5 things.
Yeah.
And number 5 is Torrey Pines.
Torrey Pines.
It was hosted.
I knew it was going to be another like PGA.
Well, as you know, because you've lived in the last 2.5 years, in my, what did I call it the other day on Instagram? My
Hallway of Fame or something.
Yeah, but my
Stairwell of Fame.
Yeah, Stairwell of Fame. Yeah, instead of Hallway of Fame or Hall of Fame, it's my Stairwell of Fame, which it is. It's got my favorite sport moments ever on the wall.
Yeah.
And one of those moments in one of the big 8x10 pictures is Tiger Woods, and he's celebrating on the 72nd hole. He was losing by 1 stroke. He needed to drain like a 20-foot birdie, and he drained it to send it to extra frames, I guess, to play off. Yeah. But back then, they've now changed the rule, but the U.S. Open was the last major that if you tied going to a playoff, you had to play a full 18-hole round the next day.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. No 3 holes, nothing like that. You had to play 18 straight holes the next day again together, head-to-head. Wow. So they play head-to-head. Tiger ties it again on hole 18 to tie. And then they played extra. That he played like 2 more holes or 3 more holes, and Tiger ended up winning the U.S. Open. Jeez. But he did all that on one leg. His right knee was completely torn, and he was limping and leaning on his driver as he was walking.
Wow, it
was heroic, man. It was unbelievable.
Just like he was this last weekend.
Just like he was this weekend, but it was way worse. Oh yeah, like it was unreal. Like he actually had emergency surgery like 2 days later.
Oh really?
His leg was annihilated.
Jeez.
Yeah, I actually have.
Was it the same leg?
Right. Yeah, maybe. I think it was.
Yeah.
I have somewhere, maybe it's there or it's upstairs. For the listeners, I'm pointing in my living room. But I have, I know DVDs are basically extinct now, but I still have the DVD of the 2008 US Open Championship. Yeah. One of these days when we're hanging, maybe we'll just throw it in. Oh, yeah. I would love to show it to you so you can watch it.
Stuff, yeah.
Absolutely, right? And just so you can see why I'm so reverent about this one tournament.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that he won, it was just how he won. So I would love to be able to play, just to be on that 18th green.
Oh, right?
For sure. To simulate that putt. I'll even smash my knee up if I have to before, just to experience the feeling that Tiger felt in that moment.
God. For nobody, but yourself.
Just from me.
Literally just for
I
yourself.
take a hammer. I'm like, I'm ready.
Ready.
Oh God,
Just do it.
Oh God, it hurts so much.
God.
I just walk up. I'm crying, bawling my eyes out. Miss the putt by like 30 feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
Totally misreads the break.
Oh,
Somehow
yeah,
ends up in the water.
Of course. It would be awesome. That's like that one time we were playing and you're like, we were still early and like playing a lot, like it's spring 2020. And you're like, we should film this one. I'm like, all right.
Oh my
And I'm filming you putting like a 30-foot putt. You
It's
made
not
it
even
half.
that long. It's like a 30-footer, like a 25.
It was like 25 foot, but you were just so confident you're going to drain it on hole 13 at
It
River
was.
Shore. And you made it
like,
halfway.
just in case.
It doesn't even get close. Like it stops halfway to the pin.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was amazing. All right, there's my top
There's so
five.
many.
There was a million stories
Dude,
like that.
Well, dude, like there's so many videos that I have of like my early swing. Like compare that like from
To
then
now.
to now is like crazy how different it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even mine's different,
Of course it is.
but I had almost more power back then. Although I hit my longest ones in the summer in the peak last year, like 326, 327.
Yeah.
But I was getting up to 300 with like this weird baseball type swing. Maybe I should go
know.
back to that.
Well,
actually.
and like an old driver.
Yes, that driver was garbage in hindsight.
Yeah.
I mean, the head snapped off.
Yeah.
it went further than my ball on that swing. I'm pretty confident.
No, it did.
Oh
No, your
my-
ball went into like the bushes or something like that.
It did it a
was
lot.
nuts.
Back then, that happened a lot. Where it would go like 30 feet up in the air, just land like 20 feet from us. Like,
Right?
didn't even make sense.
Yeah.
I believe there was a couple where I literally hit the ball and it went behind me. Like it went up into the air and landed behind me. Like, how do you even do that?
Dude, I have no clue. You were
Still to
so
this
good
day.
at skying the ball.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody hit that many skies.
But then I'd drop one 295, like right, like just in the
right
air.
after.
Just boom.
Just right after.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I should enter a long drive contest.
Yeah. And then I would hit
And
one
honestly,
100 yards.
You would
bullet
probably
into
do
the
pretty
ground.
well.
Yeah. Because all they care about is the long ones. All the rest can go anywhere they want.
It's true.
But that's why they usually suck playing golf.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Like,
true.
they can just hit
Well,
one
that's
big-
why Bryson's taking such a hit lately.
Oh, he's been ever since he went to the long drive.
Ever since
He's
he
been
went to long
garbage since then.
drive, right? Because that's been, number one focused.
Absolutely.
Yeah. the
Rob
entire time.
Garreau and my dad are gonna love this pod. By the way, just saying.
Because they're like, we hate Bryson.
No, they like Bryson.
I know they
No,
do.
they're just
Your
gonna.
dad does.
My dad loves them.
Yeah.
No, they're just gonna love the fact that it's just non-stop golf content.
Cool, man. Well, I'm going to hit you with my
Let me
top
get your five. Let me hear them.
You want to guess?
Yes. Augusta,
It's on there.
St. Andrews,
It's on there.
Pebble Beach,
It's on there.
Cabot Cliffs.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Abu Dhabi.
Nope. But honestly, it was close.
Yeah, I thought about
That'd
it
be
too.
fun.
I looked it up actually, just so
Yeah.
I got the right course name.
Yeah.
The PGA does one at the United Arab Emirates.
Yep.
On right in that, like,
Well, it's kind of like a half for mine.
is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, with the course is half? What do you mean?
The course, I would consider it like half. You'll get it. You'll understand when I get to the point.
What the? Is it? Is it?
Cool. We'll start off the list now.
Mount Paul? Is it the
No,
9-hole
no.
Mount Paul course? You want to just? It's on your bucket list. You just want to knock it off this week?
Yeah, I know, right? No. Like on
Cheater.
that note, like the first one on my top 5 here is not actually a course, but just night golf, and I want to play
Oh.
night golf.
Cool.
So I don't really care where I play. I
Yeah.
just think that the concept of night golf is super, super cool.
When you play with like the
Under
glowy
the,
balls
like-
and stuff,
Yeah.
is that what you mean? Or
Yeah, with like that and like under like the fog lights and stuff.
there are
like
some
that.
courses that are specifically made so you can do it, right?
Exactly. Well, I mean, they're just like round the clock or something like that.
Where are these places? I would play at 4 a.m.
In the
California, probably in Texas and shit.
Yeah. Well, there's some like out in Europe and stuff like that. And
Cool.
there's some out in like the Middle East and stuff
Wow.
like that. So
Let's look it up, dude. Let's find it. That's an
I know.
awesome bucket list goal.
it's
That's amazing.
I think that it's just such a cool concept.
of
Like
course, dude.
I think that like we've played like when it gets dark and then it's like that sucks because you aren't prepared for it. But like if there are fog lights that are like
Oh,
out
man.
there already,
Hell yeah.
I feel like that'd be kind of fun.
I would love to tee off in the dark. Fuck it. It'd be so much
I'd-
fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd also love to tee off in like December or January.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Well, that will happen sooner than anything else.
Yeah, exactly. But like not in like I want to do that, but not in a
Mexico is-
place that's like California or something
Yeah.
like that. I would want to do that in like somewhere where it's obviously not like 10 feet of snow, but like where you can still like play it and it's cooler, kind of like in like a UK area
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that. You know, because they do that on links courses.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, that's kind of like the first one. It's kind of like an unofficial one, but I think that the concept is kind of cool.
So cool.
Going back to what you were talking about, St. Andrews,
Yep.
old course is definitely on my list. Home of golf. You know, I
golf.
was so close to like being there. I was in St. Andrews when I went to Scotland back in 2012 and 2015.
To remind all our listeners, what was that for again? I know the story,
It
but
was when I was in a pipe band.
boom.
In a pipe band. I was the lead drummer of the band, and we went to the World Championships.
So
and
cool.
my drum corps ended up second, and as a band, we finished 11th
Yeah, that's so
in
cool,
our
man.
division or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, St. Andrews would be absolutely amazing to play, and I can't wait until the day when I do. Augusta's on there. Augusta is a tough one to get onto because you need to be invited by a member to play there. Like Tiger Woods can't play there unless he's invited by somebody who's a member at the golf course. Like it's absolutely insane.
Isn't he a member
Jack
now, though?
Nicklaus.
Aren't they
Jack
members now?
Nicklaus isn't a member.
Oh, I thought they're members if like they actually are members.
No, if they win the tournament, they aren't like a member. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's absolutely crazy. I don't know how you become a member there.
I don't
You
know.
have to,
I know
like,
for
pony
sure
up,
they
like,
didn't. They
$2
also
million.
the shitty thing is they didn't let like black people or women be members for a
It's
long
true.
time. But now they do.
Do they?
Yeah, I think they changed that. Yeah,
That's good.
I think they changed. Well, when Tiger won them,
I know, right? It's like,
we don't encourage places
Yeah.
that don't allow black men or women in
It's
general
true.
to play. But
unfortunately, that's like a part of like golf as well.
it
It's
is a
like
big.
there's still
Well, Tiger helped change all that.
big
right?
gap.
A lot.
hmm
It's gotten way better,
It is getting better.
but it has a long way to go.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely does. I think in Canada, it's also come a really, really long
Canada's
way as well.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I also have Pebble Beach on there. I think just for the scenery alone, that'd
Yeah,
be like
dude.
worthwhile to
Absolutely. That one,
I was actually
that
just
one
looking
par
up-
3, the one I think it's 7th hole or something
play.
like that.
So nice, man. Right? The the scenery is just absolutely amazing. I was just looking up like rates. So if you're like not a member or like whatever, it's $600 to play the golf course.
Oh,
So I mean that's gonna be like most of these places. Like 600 American is gonna be like anywhere that PGA like players play. Then
don't you also have to like you got to line up and do there's like a random draw to see if you can even get the tickets. It's not just if you buy them. Like you don't just make a
Like your tee
reservation.
time?
Yeah, you don't just get a reservation because there's hundreds of people a day that want to play it every day
I don't know.
because it's a public course.
I don't
Pebble
know.
Beach is public.
One of the guys who worked at the pro shop played TPC Sawgrass or
Oh,
something
that's
like
another one I
that,
would
like
love.
2 years ago.
God,
or
did he
something
go in the
like that.
water on 17?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bad golfer or anything like that.
Still.
Yeah.
It's a
But,
tiny little like
It's nuts.
surrounded by water. It's an
crazy.
island green.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts.
And my favorite
But
putt of all time was Tiger.
Somehow
on there.
he figured out a way to play it.
Cool.
Yeah, he said that it was like $350 American.
Sweet.
So if you want something a bit cheaper.
TPC Sawgrass. No big deal. It's only $500 Canadian.
Which leads me into my last one, which is actually TPC Scottsdale.
Oh yes, with the
Scottsdale-
waste management
Just
tournament.
the waste management. I would love to
So here's
play
the thing:
on.
you don't want to play it. You want to play it with 20,000 people, cheering if you get a birdie.
Oh
or
no!
something.
I don't even want to get a birdie. I want to chunk it like 10 yards in here. Everybody boo me.
Ooh, throwing
Yeah,
all their
exactly.
beer cans out there if you get a hole in one though. Like,
Oh yeah, exactly. I think that TPC Scottsdale would be tons of fun. Yeah, just for the stadium. I mean, like obviously there isn't going to be 20,000 people there for any other event, right? But
No.
I think that would be tons
maybe
of
for
fun
a
to play.
pro-am, like if we get to play it as loops as a pro.
Well, I guess depending on what tournament, I'm sure that they have tournaments like once a month or something
Yeah.
like that, right? But they probably don't draw in the same numbers that it normally does.
Yes, exactly.
Right, you don't fill up those grandstands with
No.
any of that. But
I
like,
would
the
love to
thing
go
with
see
those
that.
is like you go and play like almost any other course on the PGA tour, and then like those grandstands actually come down, so they aren't there year round.
They're just there for the PGA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But when they're built up like that in their actual structures,
Yeah,
you can't take those down. So
Yeah, no.
so those ones would stay up year round, where it's like that's cool.
yes,
I would play that whenever.
because you'd see them; they'd still be there.
Absolutely.
You just imagine everyone's losing their mind and throwing beer cans or booing you.
Exactly.
I'll boo
It would
you.
be great.
I'll
Yeah,
boo-
exactly. Happily. And our caddies will be like, these guys suck.
Who are these guys?
They are shooting 120 right now.
How did these guys
I
become
thought that
world
they were-
famous musicians?
I thought that they were single figure handicappers.
We are.
We just lie on our scorecards.
We fake it till we make
Yeah,
it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. I love it, dude. Awesome.
Scottsdale.
Awesome top 5. That leads me to think now that another fun top 5 would be top 5 courses or tournaments I'd love to go see live as a spectator.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, Waste Management would be one of them for me.
I think that,
just to be one of those people.
Yeah, or 16th,
just freaking out.
16th is what it is, isn't it?
I think it's the 16th.
I think it's the 16th.
We would just be there the entire time, just hang out there the whole time.
Right.
I wouldn't leave.
Apparently, that's where everybody just goes and gets wasted and then yells
of course
at
they do.
players, right?
They all through beer cans.
I know, it was insane.
No one cared. They're like, whoa.
Think about all the damage that it caused to the greens.
The green.
Like,
but no one
the
cares. They're like,
superintendent was
a
probably
scene
like,
unlike
I
anything in
hate
golf.
everybody right now.
Oh yeah, but everyone loved. But you know what? It gets them there. It gets people showing up and gets them publicity.
Of course, yeah.
They don't mind. It's worth it.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
You just hope that guy doesn't get a hole-in-one on the first pairing of the day.
Yeah, it's true.
30 other groups have to go and play with like dents and divots in the
God.
green.
That would be absolutely brutal.
It's not like hockey where they can just clean up the ice.
No.
Maybe they flood it. Like, you can't flood the green to flatten it out. Like,
No.
That's it.
No.
Cool, dude. I love it. That was so much fun. That was for you, golf fan. You know who you are. Let's get to our new music. So, do you want to introduce what the concept we're going to do this week for our new music?
Yeah, so the idea this week is that we're playing a show on Friday
Yes.
out in Vancouver.
And it's an important one.
It's a very important one.
Yeah, because it's our first show done with Live Acts Canada, which are a really big booking company. They put on tons of amazing shows in BC, Vancouver, all across the country. They're amazing. And we managed to get a show with them. We want to impress them. We want to do awesome.
Yeah.
Go on.
So this is going to be, like you know, you were just saying, it's going to be a super, super important show for us. We're playing out at Portside Pub, which does live music every single night of the week, from my understanding. And they are also one of like Vancouver's like top underground music venues as well.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we are opening for this cool, awesome band, Matthew Presidente.
Yeah, the Matthew Presidente band.
And we are absolutely honored to be a part of the evening. From my understanding, he's pretty well established down in Vancouver as well.
Yeah, I'll read a bio on him in a second.
Awesome.
He's fantastic. And yeah, it's going to be in Gastown. So if you know Vancouver, downtown Vancouver, if you're listening to this, come on and see us. It's going to be super, super fun.
It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, we're stoked. We're absolutely stoked to be down there for the first time for us. And it's going to be a great, great, great show.
Yeah. And you know what we'll actually even do? For anybody that can actually make the show, if you listen to this, if you're listening to this podcast, and you write in our actual post that I put up every single week about the episode podcast, I'm just going to say this on the fly. Hopefully you're cool with this, but we will give 2 free tickets to the first person to claim them.
Okay.
That wants to come to the show. So, you know, my cousin Kelly, for example, that lives in Cyprus.
Should we do it?
Doesn't make any sense for you to claim those tickets because you can't make it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe she can claim it and then give it to her friend who's down in Vancouver.
No, hey, knock yourself out. But it needs ideally, we want it to be 2 people that can actually come to the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do you think of that?
We could do that on.
Let's do it on us.
On like a Instagram post. Is what you're
Well,
thinking?
I'm gonna every week. Every time we do our podcast, I put the post up saying episode blah blah blah.
Okay.
I give a shout out to whoever is featured. We're not going to mention it in the post, so you won't be able to get it just by reading. It's only if you're listening to me right now and hearing me tell you this. The first person to actually claim it and say, "I want those 2 free tickets," write that as a comment in the post of this podcast.
Should they have like a keyword?
Just them saying it alone. No one else is going to know unless they heard this.
Like, what are they going to say? Like, what do they comment?
They just write, "Tickets, please." Does that work? Tickets, please. I want those tickets from the podcast. Yeah, just say that. Anything along those lines, we'll understand.
Okay.
I think it's pretty easy. I don't think
along those lines.
Well, I don't think random people are just going to be like seeing our post. Hey, by the way, we're back, guys. Sorry, we were away for a couple weeks, but we're back now with episode 12. We talk about Matthew Presidente band, tell our golf stories, blah blah blah, like whatever our description is. No one's just going to be like, "Can I have those 2 free tickets?" Like unless they actually heard us say this,
yeah,
right?
That's true. Yeah.
So just say, I want those 2 free tickets. That's what you got to say.
Yeah.
I want those 2 free tickets.
So comment that on the post that Kev's putting up.
Yeah.
The
first person to whenever
which is actually going to be the day when the podcast comes out.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Today, look at our Instagram.
Right as you're hearing this, you can even pause the podcast, go right to Instagram right now as you're listening, and if no one else has claimed it yet, claim it. And even if someone else has written it, maybe like we will give out 2 free tickets.
Yeah.
To whoever actually hears this and gets it first.
Yeah.
Easy as that. Seriously, that's it.
Easy as that. I like it.
Cool.
So going back, so Matthew Presidente is going to be, the guy. Of
he's the headliner.
Right. So we're opening for him, which we're super stoked for. If you want to find him on Instagram, it's Matty, MATTY PREZ. And that is his Instagram, and you can find all of his cool stuff and what he's up to. And
you can find him on Spotify. We'll play the song here in a second that we chose. So we picked an awesome song of his. It's got over 30,000 streams. He's awesome, man. He's so talented. We are like, it's not a short set. So if you are coming to see Loops and you're not familiar with Matthew Presidente, you're going to love him. But we are playing equal sets. So we play 45 minutes from 8:05 to 8:50.
Yeah.
Then there's a 20-minute break. And then he plays the last 45 minutes at the end of the night. So he plays from 10:15 to 10.
I think it's 9:05 is when he starts, or like 9:10 or something.
Yes, you're right. No, it's 9:05 till 9:50. Yeah, that's what it is. And then there's 10. Yeah, because there's 10-minute window at the end for both of us in case we go long a little bit or people want an encore or whatever. So 8:05 to 8:50 for us. Same thing for him. 9:05 to 9:50
right. Yeah.
So 45 minutes each.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give you a little hype up on Matthew. This is his write up just from Spotify. So you guys have a little more understanding on him. Check it out. And tickets are still available too. So we know we have a lot of people that do listen to us in Vancouver. So please go to our Instagram. You can buy tickets right there. On the tickets, you can specify that you're going to see Loops. It just helps us figure out for stats who drew to the show.
Apparently you actually have to. I was just told by a couple of people, it's like, maybe like select either good. Matthew or yourself.
Yeah, so definitely pick Loops. If you're hearing our podcast, obviously, because Matt's going to have a whole bunch of people coming too for him too. So this is his write-up. A maestro on the piano, a master on the mic. Matthew Presidente is a staple of Vancouver's queer music scene. Whether performing solo or with his full band, his music's honest queer perspective invokes nostalgia, small-town memories, and self-discovery. Referred to as one of, if not the best singer/songwriter in our LGBT scene Matty has performed along headliners Ace of Base. I loved Ace of Base when I was a kid. I saw the sign.
Oh, yeah.
And it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. That's wicked. Dragonette, and even shared a stage with Patti Smith. He's known for his wide range of music collaborations and, of course, his signature leather pants. When not performing, you can find him writing, working on his various video series, including YouTube's World is Watching, with a rotating roster of LGBTQ plus performers and allies, and more. Keys with Matty P, an all-request show hosted on Unicorns.live platform. So, a little bit of a backup, a little bit of a backstory on Matthew Presidente. As it stated a few times in his thing there, he is one of, if not the top, staple and artist in the LGBTQ2 plus scene, and he identifies as the top queer artist in the community. So, that is very relevant for us because we are very pro the community.
Absolutely.
I don't mention it too often, but my brother is transgender. I'm very, very proud of all the struggles and all the adversity he faced and how he's faced it just with a smile on his face and just representing the best possible light of the community. Loops, we both have people in our lives that are either gay or bisexual or lesbian. Like, it doesn't matter. Like they're identifying as their own, whatever their own is, and we're very proud to represent and be an ally, more important than anything. We've already talked about how on Pride Week we really are excited to have Loops merch that we can donate the proceedings, not make any money, and just have that merch go towards the Pride community. We're, for us to be able to align ourselves with someone this talented and this accepted and respected in that community is awesome for us. We're really proud to be playing this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of do a little background on that so people know, like, this is someone really special, and we're really excited to be a part of this. And we're proud that he's excited to have us play the start of the show for him too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So go and check him out. We're going to play a song here of his. It's called Standing in the Way of Love. And it goes a little something like this.
Hope you guys enjoy.
So you feel like you've been bought and sold, and it's hard to see how little you've grown when the habits always stick around. In the same old charm, in the same old town, you take one step forward and two drinks down. You know every face in every crowd, but there's not even one to reach out to when you're looking for someone to see you through. Standing in the way
All right, so you guys heard it. Check out his other stuff as well. He has a lot of really cool live things. I mean, how do you best describe that? I don't want to sound too much. Like, I hope it's not even taken as like an offense by him, as in this is too obvious of a correlation, but I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think an obvious correlation with us is that, yeah, well, those guys sound kind of like they have an Ed Sheeran vibe.
Yeah,
that's not
sure.
we're not offended by that. I hope he feels the same, but what did I say to you when I first heard it? It reminded me of kind of an early Elton John.
Yeah,
an
you're
Elton
right.
John vibe.
Yep.
You don't hear it as much in that song, to be honest, but with a lot of his live stuff, with especially on the
Well, that's what I was
piano,
gonna touch
on
on
the
too.
piano,
Yeah.
but his vocals, you can definitely tell there was a strong Elton John influence, which
Yeah.
probably helped him along his discovery himself, right?
Absolutely,
which is
yeah.
amazing. I think he's brilliant, man. I think he's really cool. I
Yeah.
like that song. It's a song about kind of inspiration and hope.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, it's yeah, you're hitting all the right notes there. Not
Literally.
literally, right? Yeah, no, and
Do-do-do-do-do.
like I was saying, right? It was like, I don't want to say it was like a toss up, but we really wanted to like share more of the music, but unfortunately we weren't able to get to everything today.
Yep.
Right. But check out his other stuff, like his live
Live at
album
the
sounds
Roxy.
absolutely amazing.
The Roxy's a big venue downtown Vancouver.
Absolutely,
And he played that, and it was a really cool live concert.
it's true. Yeah.
And then you really get to feel that much more that he's kind of like, it's cool, man. He's like Elton John reincarnated, even though Elton John's still alive.
Exactly, right? Yeah, but we're super stoked to be joining him
Yeah,
on
man,
stage.
it's gonna be cool.
And yeah, it's gonna be absolutely a blast.
Yeah, it's gonna be wicked. Go give, as we always ask you guys, when we promote another musician, go give him a follow on Instagram. Shoot him a follow on Spotify. Be a monthly listener. Listen to his music. And most importantly, if you're in Vancouver next weekend, next Friday, the 15th of April,
Yeah.
come to our show. Check it out. If you want to come out just to support Loops, that'd be awesome, because this is our first downtown Vancouver gig. We're pretty excited about it.
We are.
And we want to impress Live Acts Canada, to be honest.
We do. And
And
everybody who shows up.
Everyone that shows up, exactly. And yeah, like I said, whichever one of you is the first person to say you want those 2 tickets, they're yours, literally free. We will literally put them aside, and you'll have 2 tickets ready.
It's
for you.
true.
Easy. It's that easy.
It is that easy.
So there you go, guys. Yeah, we talked about our show coming up. What else you want? Anything else we want to talk
I think
about?
that this is like the quickest as we've gotten to like the end of the week.
I know,
ever.
Yeah, 50 seconds, less than an hour.
It's true. That's crazy.
I'm like, once again, as per tradition, I'm like, I feel like this is gonna be a shorter show.
I know.
No,
But it's actually a relatively short episode.
absolutely.
Yeah, so let's talk about this week in review. I mean, we already touched on Friday. Friday we're going to be playing in Vancouver, and that's going to be tons of fun, and we're looking forward to it. Saturday, I don't think that we've got anything going on for.
No, we
like,
had
the
Saturday
first
open
time.
because we didn't know for sure if we had a couple possibilities for downtown Vancouver.
Yeah.
And one of them we were kind of, it was pretty much locked in that we were going to have a chance to do it potentially, but they still didn't know for sure because they thought the other band was falling through. The other band ended up actually coming through, and they ended up getting the gig, keeping it after all. So they apologized, but they said we'll give you kind of an IOU. Like, that's no problem. And hey, that's okay. We never played there before. We don't want to not nurture that relationship. And if we show them that we're good sports about it, we're like, hey, no worries. I mean, sometimes people double book, then all good. So, but we definitely do have a show on Wednesday as well. It's a private show.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you know what? And we're not advertising it because we were doing it for good reasons.
Yeah.
We have it listed on our actual on our website on the main page.
Yeah.
We're not putting up a poster because no one can go to it. It's a private show
Yeah.
anyways. But I have no issues mentioning it on the podcast. It's at the Kamloops Senior Village. There was a thing put up about just they're looking for musicians to kind of come and entertain the seniors, and we've been grinding. We've been working really hard. We've actually we worked our way up to be able to earn decent money every gig we play.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to give back a little bit and just play a show for 2 hours that's going to be kind of easy and fun for some seniors that don't get to leave the house very often, especially with COVID.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, we both took a lot of satisfaction and pride and happiness out of doing like the fundraisers on Remembrance Day for the seniors. That day we did three different concerts, an hour and a half each. That was on Remembrance Day 2020.
Yep.
And we haven't really been able to play since then at any senior village, because we used to do that every once in a while back when we first started, because they were the only gigs we could get, to be honest.
It's true. Yeah, absolutely.
And truthfully, it's not something we could afford to do now on like a Friday or Saturday. We can't
No,
afford to do
no,
it. If
exactly.
it's paying us a third what we normally would get.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't afford that. But
Yeah.
to do it on, on a Wednesday night, I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. I don't know about you, but I'm actually really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be a nice little, change of pace. Whoa, my
Wow.
voice cracked. Wow, that
You
was
did it.
crazy.
He
I'm a big
finally
boy
hit
now.
puberty.
Yeah, exactly.
John did it, guys.
No, it's gonna be a nice change of pace. It's gonna be something just a little bit different, so
Yeah.
we don't have to worry and stress about doing, a super high energy
No.
3-hour show or
It's gonna be
whatever.
fun.
It's like, what do you guys want to hear?
Exactly.
We're gonna play whatever
100%.
you guys want to hear.
Absolutely. we
Right?
are.
This
Yeah.
is for you, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, a
So-
lot of Beatles, a lot of, Fleetwood Mac. And
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
chill stuff, Elton John, like stuff that they liked when they were 50,
Absolutely.
right? It's going to
Yeah.
be fun. It'll be good. So, yeah, that's our upcoming week. We are going to get back on our regular routine and schedule.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, we're the only music podcast left in the region. So,
We are, yeah.
boom. Here's your hookup, guys. If you're listening still
Tell
now,
your friends.
tell your friends. Yeah, keep the support going for Diary of an Indie Band, because we appreciate it. It helps us out.
As always, you can always send us an email at dib@officialloops.com. We would love to hear about your top fives. We want
Yes.
to, hear any new music that you've got on the radar. You want to send it our way.
Ask for a top five. If there's a top five, you want to know what our top five on a topic is, that's awesome. Like, we would love to hear
Absolutely.
that, right? Like, we really
100%.
would. Yeah, cool. I
Yeah.
think we're covered, man. What do you think?
I think that's it for today.
I think that's it for today as well.
Probably
Well,
our shortest ever episode.
yeah. Do we're just close to an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
One day we'll get under an hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope you guys had fun. We are glad to be back. Sorry for the couple week lull there, but life gets in the way sometimes. And
We're
at the end of the
back on
day,
track.
we're not even sponsored by Jaeger yet.
Yet.
It's
Exactly.
coming. Jaeger,
Well, now there's two of us.
right? Now we're both drinking Jaeger.
Now we
Yeah.
can both hound them.
We can both hound Jaeger and get that rightful sponsorship. So as always, brought to you by, but not sponsored by Jaeger, and brought to you by Friendship this episode.
Exactly. All right, guys. You have a good week.
Keep on keeping on.